So it looks like AH is all but admitting that she's been fired and blacklisted at Warner. And if that's not enough for you, how about Warner Brothers all but confirming that she is definitely out now, with Warner Brothers focusing all of their energy on DC Films' future. And that future, well, it doesn't involve anyone that has been defending her for the last few years. Now, this proof, and it is proof of what sources have been saying behind the scenes for a while, by the way. It's brand new. I mean, these moves, they just happened. And when you look at what other things that Warner's been doing, unfollowing that certain person, and more importantly, and this, it ties right into what we're talking about today, we had Warner Brothers throw her under the bus in the courtroom. They decided they weren't going to defend her anymore. You and I, we're going to talk about all of this stuff today. Oh man, she is definitely out here. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently, and talk about some bombshells here. The first one, and this is a big one in my opinion. You have AH herself coming out, making a statement. Now, she's making this statement through a quote-unquote source. That source is none other than Eve Barlow. If you're wondering who Eve Barlow is, that's the girlfriend to AH. But on top of that, that's also the person that makes statements for her any time that she wants. She's done damage control. She's made statements in the court, even got a witness kicked out. Look at what she accidentally lets go. Quote, AH is not in a good place and is worried in general, and financially speaking. She is definitely planning to appeal the court's decision. She feels very alone and like she lost a lot of friends. She is sad that people she hoped would support her didn't. As for what's next for the AQUAMAN star, ET's source says that AH plans right now to focus on being a mom, spend quality time with her daughter, and this part right here, I think, is the first telling statement. Stay out of the limelight. Now, Kate James, AH's former assistant, truly clarified how important the limelight was to her, stating that she would call in reports to the paparazzi saying, hey, she's going to be at X place at Y time. Then she and her sister, they would put on their finery and make sure that they were photographed. Kate James, her job was to go out and to pick up 2 copies of any magazine that AH appeared in and to store them in the garage. She needed them, but she didn't want JD to see them. And one time she said AH got very angry because they were lying around, saying that she went absolutely ballistic. She was screaming, she was yelling. It was a blind rage. Now, Eve Barlow. Oh, wait. A source. That's right. Sorry, Entertainment Tonight. A source decides to add the most telling statement of all. Listen to this part here. This is dropping a bombshell because it says she knows she's done, but hopeful that maybe with enough time, we can get it all back. Quote, she is going to try not to do anything publicly for a while. Man, imagine if she would have stuck to that going from 2016. Imagine the difference that would have made. She is hopeful that after some time passes, she can slowly build her career back. So she's acknowledging right here that her career is gone. Everything's over. Warner Brothers is not going to get her back. Yeah, maybe over time she can slip some roles back in there, right? Now, added to that bombshell is an even bigger bombshell. This is some massive news here. It just dropped June 7th, 2022, 9:15 a.m. And it was a show for shareholders. You have Warner Brothers publicly talking about leadership changes. When I say leadership changes, they've already had quite a few of them. Mind you, many of the trigger people that took out JD, they've already been unceremoniously wiped off the board, but now they're talking about Walter Hamada. It looks like that guy is out, and with that guy being out, yeah, there's some big questions about DC Films' future that are lingering, and that it's going to hit that certain person really, really hard. card. Now, these next few paragraphs are so telling. Funny stuff, too. Why? Because you have so many denials about where her career is. But I'm going to tell you right here, you have all the proof you need to say that she is fired and she is never coming back. So it starts here. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, he still hopes to find his answer to Kevin Feige, the guru who guided Marvel Studios to big screen dominance for rival Disney. Now, if you've never heard of David Zaslav, this is a big problem for AH. Why? This guy, he came in right after the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. You know when that happened? Week 1 of the trial. He saw the name of his company. He saw his products dragged through the mud. More than that, he saw the problems all of this created for Harry Potter, for Aquaman, and he's not happy at all. That's why he fired the number 1 person. That would be David Millar. He fired the number 2 person, Ann Sarnoff, unceremoniously, too. Just kicked her right out the door with no warning whatsoever. She's the person that fired JD. She's the person that had been defending that certain former Aquaman starlet, plus Ezra Miller. Yeah, that person, plus everyone in her orbit, they were fired too. No defenders left. In fact, quite the opposite. So, next part, telling. As he navigates the film world, Zaslav has relied extensively on the inside of a constellation of industry players, such as former Disney chief Bob Iger. You know, that makes sense too, because again, he's trying to find the next Kevin Feige. You know, the one that helped out Disney. Now, funny thing, Bob Iger was actually burned by that certain person, was burned and threatened with litigation. Threatened, she said she was going to sue. Bob Iger, he remembers that. He also knows what drama like this will do. Yeah, he's the kind of person that would say, fire her now. Yeah, then you have the proverbial nail in the coffin. So they talk about somebody that Zaslav wants to bring in. Now, this courtship, as they say, means that Walter Hamada, the current president of DC Film Production, has an uncertain future, even though he remains under contract until 2023. Zaslav believes that DC is underutilized asset. He's frustrated that its cinematic output has been inconsistent, and there hasn't been any sufficient long-term planning in terms of rolling out sequels and following up to popular movies. Now, as supporters that defend him, they say, well, look at his credits. Look at what he made. And guess what one of those movies was? Aquaman. Now, when you look at that situation and you look at the behavior of Walter Hamada, you can see that Walter Hamada has tried to distance himself and his biggest product and the company that he works for one of the biggest, if not the biggest drama that we've seen ever in Warner Brothers history. That's why, in my opinion, they put out statements like this. You know, hey, any alleged delay in picking up her option for Aquaman 2 was due to creative issues. She had no chemistry with Jason Momoa. We told her agent at the time. We had no problems with any statement that was supposedly said by JD or his lawyer. You know, all of that drama she caused, please don't cripple us. Please don't get me fired. You know why? Because we didn't even want her. We wouldn't have paid her any more money at the time. You take this, you look at the behavior of Warner Brothers unfollowing her from multiple accounts. Also, you look at the stuff going on with Jason Momoa and her. Yeah, you can tell that she's out. Again, leadership change, no allies. She herself is saying this stuff publicly. She's out. I mean, she is done and then some. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. These companies, they control all types of mediums. One of those mediums is comic books. We want alternatives. Instead of just complaining about companies that'll never change, we created an indie project. We're working on it right now. Link is in the description. Check that out. Check out our shirts and everything else too, if you want to help out the channel. But you being here, that matters the most of all. So thank you. Appreciate you. See you soon.